the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Friday, April 24th. We've got a full slate again here of Major League Baseball. All right, after yesterday's 5 games, and we'll talk about it here coming up in just a moment on the show. Also, 1 game in the CFL. Getting ready for a big sports betting weekend here, including our action tomorrow in the UFC. Come this time tomorrow, we'll be ready to go to the Octagon here at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on Saturday. Make sure you're checking out BB MMA picks here as we get ready for the action tomorrow. You can watch it right now. I prefer if you watch this show, but if you want to get ready and get caught up and see what's going to happen here this week with UFC from Abu Dhabi, check it out underneath the live tab. We had our show this week as we previewed the light heavyweight main event between Magomed Ankalaev and Bogdan Guskov. That's the main event here. It will be Ankalaev, the number 2 ranked light heavyweight contender, up against Guskov. Guskov actually the 3rd choice for this main event. It was originally going to be Ankalaev and Roundtree Jr., but 2 weeks ago, Roundtree Jr. got injured. Well, they said, hey, we need an opponent. How about next week? It was going to be Blachowicz and Guskov in Serbia. But what we'll do is we'll just take Blachowicz now and put him up against Ankalaev. Well, then Blachowicz said, hey, you know what? I'm actually not going to be ready. I'm not going to make the conditions by this week. I was ready for next week. They said, let's go to Guskov. Let's take Guskov. And they did. And Guskov is a near 4-1 underdog in the fight. So make sure you check out the show. Our guest this week was Uncle Weezy. Uncle Weezy was our guest this week. So make sure you check it out underneath the live tab, BB MMA picks for this week. Get ready for the action here again tomorrow. And tomorrow we will be on the air here on the Sports Money Network at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 a.m. Pacific, or around there. So make sure you join me early here tomorrow for the show, because we're going to make way for the guys tomorrow for their companion stream coverage. Hey, I know they'll like it when it's in the daytime, so we'll let them host the show and have a great day tomorrow with VB MMA picks and the Fight Companion show tomorrow with Mikey Money and MMA Jeff and their cast of characters. All right, getting ready to go here with our show today. We'll recap a little bit from yesterday. Hey, I hope you guys are with me right now, at least with the golf here this week. I just wanted to kind of share here. They're underway right now. There's some great tennis action going on here as well, but we do have right now the 3M Open going on here this week, and I want to hopefully you're riding with me. Hopefully you are a subscriber to my free picks over at winnable.com, because if you were and you kind of rode with me here this week, well, number one, you would have had this winner from this morning in the AFL with West Coast and Fremantle game to go under there, and it did, as it was God, what was it, like 19-18 after first? Got to be honest here, it was 19-18 in the first period, and well, that's when I had to take a nap. But We had some other picks here today as well in tennis here, but really I want to go over to the golf here this week. Here's my golf plays from this week, and take a look here. Hopefully you're riding with me. The current leader at the PGA 3M Open is Ben Coles. You see my chart here this week. I didn't make this 5 seconds ago. This is what I sent out about 5 or 6 hours before the tournament yesterday. Ben Coles went out and shot a 62 yesterday, and he's already 3 under today. He leads by 4 strokes. He's already through 6 holes. I mean, he's already tearing it up here today. They're out on the course. No one is 3 under today except for Ben Coles. Mav McNeely just made a birdie, but he's 3 under, 3 shots back. So no one else is 3 under par here today other than Ben Coles and Mav McNeely. The point being, Ben Coles shot a 62 yesterday, and he's on fire again here today, and we're trying to hit him at 65-1. Let's sweep this ladder here this week, man. Make sure you're subscribed with me over at winnable.com. This was under the free picks this week. My golf is always sent out of the free picks. So make sure you're checking these out over at winnable.com. You're going to want to get on these. All right, and appreciate that. Let's get moving here. Let's recap some of the action here from yesterday. It won't take long, that's for sure. But we did have some wins here on the show. And hopefully you tuned into my Cover the Spread show yesterday. We went 3-0 with my big 3 picks, including the Padres on the run line against the Braves. And we also had them here on the show there. I think, it was the first 5, though, or full game? Anyway, the Braves won 7-6 over the Padres yesterday. Also, we had my Cover the Spread winner, the under in Minnesota and Cleveland there, as Minnesota was able to get the win actually in 12 innings, 3-1, as the Twins ended up taking the win with the 2 runs in the 12th inning in that one. Trevor Larnach had the game-winning hit there for the Twins to put them ahead there. They actually scored those at the top of the inning. Gavin Williams had an immaculate inning in the 4th inning, and Cleveland actually led 1-0 after 7, but they lost the game. Also, it was Toronto. We had that one with our Cover the Spread show as they beat Tampa Bay 3-1 behind Shane Bieber and gave us a victory there yesterday, as nobody really wanted to take the Rays, but no one wanted to take the Blue Jays, but we did. They got it done yesterday, 3-1. Also, it was Kansas City and Detroit. Detroit was able to get the win, just 4-3 in there. Yeah, we were on the Tigers there a little bit, but we had that Cover the Spread winner with the under. And finally, it was Arizona 10-6 in that makeup game yesterday as they crushed St. Louis. We did have our picks there. Good, decent day here right now, and that was it really. There was a CFL game as well, and it ended up to be a pretty decent game. In fact, it ended up being a high-scoring game there yesterday, and ended up coming down to a last-second field goal as Edmonton won it 36-34 on the road. We said take them plus the points here yesterday, and that worked out. They won the game outright. There'll be one more game tonight we'll take a look at in this CFL. Other than that, that's really all we're talking about here today. So thank you for joining me, and we'll get rolling on the show. I think we got a few people in here, so we might as well start and see how far we go. And really just got the baseball, so hello to everybody. Who's in here? Nick Handy is here this morning, and Blake is here as well. Oh, Bobby Mack also there. Okay. That's good enough for me. Let's start. We got a dozen people in here watching. Let's get right to the action here on a Friday. 15 games to look at, so no time to waste. First up, the Rockies are at the Brewers here. Tomo Sugano goes for Colorado. Shane Droham, the Dronester, the Drone Strikes, Sagano 4.76 ERA, 9-4 record here right now for Sagano. That's pretty good for a Colorado pitcher. They've only won 41 games all season, and Sagano accounts for nearly 25% of those wins. For Drohan, 3.2 ERA, a 5-3 record coming in. Of course, we know the Brewers doing damage all season long here right now, but how will it work out today? We'd have to lay a huge number here now. We're starting to get into that kind of territory. It's still the Rockies. They still have a decent offense, but Drohan's been pretty good so far. And it says 245 there. Let me see. I thought it just kind of went up. No, maybe about there, 245 or so. There are some, actually. I take that back. There are some. Few books might be at 255 or 260 here, but for the most part, it feels like about 245 or so. The Rockies are 11-6 with Sugano on the mound. He's got a 268 batting average against and a 13.5% strikeout rate. Not great. Drohan has a 300 BABIP, but the Brewers are still rolling here for the most part. They lost a game there the other night in that series to the Mets, but that was only a minor distraction for this red-hot team as they keep on winning. They've won 5 of their last 6, including 4 of their last 5 games at home. Colorado, meanwhile, is 1-5 in their last 6 games here against Milwaukee. Colorado has gone just 2-6 in their last 8 games overall. Let's see what the chat has to say here in our first ball game. Robert is on the over here in this one. And Barr says go over 8.5 as well. A couple of overs there. Well, I better lay off the total. I'm just going to the Brewers to crush the Rockies here. I'll go ahead and take the run line. You even got to lay a little bit, I think, to lay the 1.5 here in this one today. Last I saw it was for the Brewers here on the run line, they were minus $1.10. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Brewers here and do it. Might be pretty square to start the show, but man, the Brewers are great. And the Rockies are 17-34 on the road. They are pretty decent on the run line for sure, 55-47, and the Brewers ain't much special, 37-37 as a run line favorite, but they are 30-27 on the run line at home. We got 2 pretty stellar offenses here, and the guys like the over, and I'll take the run line here with the Brewers. I'm just going to do it. So's Blake. Let's do it, Blake. Let's do it. All right, we're going to keep it moving here right now on our show. Next up. Next up, the Cubs here are on the road taking on the Pirates. And Matt Boyd goes here for the Cubs, and Jared Jones goes for the Pirates here. Jones, a 4.05 ERA, 2-1 record for Boyd, 4.15 ERA, 6-1 for Boyd. Cubs are 12 games over 500. Pirates still 3 games over, still looking pretty decent after, they lost the series to the Yankees there. Meanwhile, the Cubs lost their series at home to the Tigers last couple of days. So Pirates still here, 30-23 as a favorite. Boyd's had a good season. He's just been injured. Since returning late last month, though, he's been excellent in 5 starts, just 7 earned runs, and 2 shutout stints in those games. So last 3 games, it's been pretty good. 2.45 ERA, 0.87 whip, and a 185 batting average against. Pirates certainly rank as one of the top offenses this season, but lefties do give them just a tad more trouble than right-handers. But they've looked solid in recent games against some lefties. They had 5 earned runs off of Weathers. They had 4 earned runs off of the Cantillo. And they did get shut out by Max Fried, but I don't know if you can count that. I mean, you count it for Freed, but I mean, I don't know if you can hold it down too much for the Pirates anyway. For Jones, he's been really good these last few games, man. He's been on fire. 1.2 ERA, 0.53 whip, and a 100 batting average against in his last 3 games right now. This Cubs lineup, they're going to be right-handed heavy. That's pretty good for Jones, even though the Cubs have pretty good offense for sure. But let's see what you think here in this one. The Cubs take on the Pirates here in Pittsburgh on Friday. Cubs have won 13 of their last 20. They've won 12 of the last 18 against Pittsburgh. They've gone 10-3 in their last 13 on the road. But the Pirates come in here having won 6 of their last 9. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over, and the Pirates have gone over in 7 of their last 9 games coming in. Boyd 6-2 to the over as a starter. Jones 6-3 to the over. Cubs are 8-2 in Boyd starts, but Jones is a plenty good option, it feels like, here right now, and he's been on fire. So let's see what you've got in this one. And it's going to be Pirates on the money line for Blake. Cubs here for Robert. Cubs for VAR. That's going to put the chat on the Cubs side, there in this one. I'm taking the under in this game. Give me the under with the Cubs and the Pirates. Man, we might have 2 good starters going here. Might deal for a little while in this one. Next up, the Royals are on the road taking on the Tigers here, and do have an opener here for the Royals. It's Beck Way, and he's going to make way for Noah Cameron eventually here, I do believe. For Way, 3.2 ERA, just a couple of stints here, really. For Way, he's, like I said, he's the opener. This is the first time he's opened this season. He has 18 relief appearances. This season. For Skubal, he's 6-5 with 14 starts. The Tigers are 4-10 to the under when Skubal starts. He's got a .93 whip and 217 batting average against, 284 BABIP. We'll see Noah Cameron eventually here once Way is out of the way. Cameron's been giving up runs at one of the highest rates of any lefty in the majors here of late. 5+ earned runs in 4 of his last 5 starts, and those teams weren't even any good. He's also allowed 6 home runs in his last 4 starts and just keeps blowing up here at this point. So it's going to be hard not to want to take possibly Detroit here, but Skubal, these solid numbers, he's been even better in the last 3 games. 1.59 ERA, recording 9+ strikeouts in 4 of his last 5 starts. Tigers' offense hasn't been great against left-handers. We know they're a little bit better at home than on the road, that's for sure. This is a good matchup for the Tigers lineup, although they've not been great against left-handers here recently. That's for sure, but Royals have had some solid games against left-handers this season and actually are in the top 5 in batting average against left-handers. They had 9 earned runs against Christopher Sanchez, remember, but in the last 5 games against left-handed starters, they've had just 1 earned run or less in 4 of the last 5 overall. So both offenses do kind of struggle against left-handers, and again, Cameron will come in for Way. So I'm going to go ahead and try the under here, and hopefully Detroit doesn't get too out of control here with their, not saying they're going to win or anything, but they might. Let's see what the chat has to say here with this one. I'm going to go to the chat here right now. Oh, there was one left over from the last batch here. Hey, Trevor Davis. Hello, Trevor's in the chat. Robert likes the under in this one. Barr likes Detroit. Blake likes the under as well. Okay, maybe I'm on the right one there. I'll go under. Let's do it. Next up, The Diamondbacks are at the Nationals here with Eduardo Rodriguez. He goes for Arizona. Eduardo, about as consistent as they come in the major leagues. 2.62 ERA, an 8-3 record, 1.22 the whip. The Diamondbacks looked great smashing it yesterday against the Cardinals on the road for the third straight win, and they've been hot here for about 2 weeks. For the Nationals here, they'll have an opener in Carson Palmquist in this one. Not great numbers, 8.73 ERA and an 0-1 record. My question is, why, if you are the Nationals, do you go to an opener for Zach Littell when your opener has an ERA of over 9? I mean, I never get it. He's listed to open a game, which makes things even worse for the Nationals. He has these terrible numbers, and I don't know, you guys are better at this stuff than I am, but it looks to me like a left-handed pitcher, to me, the Diamondbacks, their splits are even better against left-handers. So let's start a left-hander first to, give a even better. Now, the reason why sometimes you got to run a opener out there, just to give a little cushion, let one guy go out there and fire at the top of the lineup so you don't have to use all that energy at the start of the game. And you could start, not that the bottom of the lineup is going to be any worse, but still, it doesn't make any sense to me. What are the Nationals doing in doing that? So let's see the way you have it, though, here with these two. You have all Palmquist with these gaudy numbers, but Eduardo, Mr. Consistency here. 1.21 whip, 232 batting average against. The Diamondbacks are 15-5 with Eduardo on the mound, and they're 6-11 to the under. Now, the games that Palmquist has been an opener for Washington, they've lost all 4 of them, and they went 1-3 to the under. Now, I don't know if that's more indicative here. I'm concerned that they've lost those games with Palmquist because he started them, and you know what? He might have done the same thing before. Littell's been terrible all year anyways. Doesn't matter with a 5.43 ERA. He's allowed 10 home runs in his last 7 games. So, Arizona's going to take care of business probably in this one, aren't they? For Eduardo, he's the ace of the staff for sure. Is coming off kind of his worst stretch of the season. 5.52 ERA, 1.5 whip, and a 317 batting average against his last 3 starts, although it was the Cardinals, the Dodgers, and the Brewers. So maybe a little bit of a tough stretch for Eduardo, but the Diamondbacks have truly been the best offense in the major leagues over the last week or so, going top 2 in batting average, OBP, OPS, weighted runs created plus, and fewest strikeout rate. So this is a great matchup for them, especially with both starters being terrible. We might see some runs early, I would think, here, for at least for Arizona, off of this Palmquist, and after that, Zach Littell. All right, you got 2 top offenses. I don't know, I know Eduardo can maybe deal here a little bit. He is on the road. He could be a little bit worse. The total is pretty high, but let's see what you got. Did we just see a final here in tennis as Valentova beat Buskova? Well, I don't like that. Buskova. Oh, wait a minute. No. Buskova was our premium play there on the Win Club. But all right, well, can't win them all. And let me see what you guys have in the chat here. Try to cheer me up now. Trevor going Arizona over. Good morning to Public Enemy. Nats money line here for Blake. And yeah, well, they said you got to get on the air, Ramon. You can't sit there and we don't have the graphics now because by the time I get I'm pretty much researched, right? But sometimes I grab a little nap in there before the show, and usually about watch some tennis, and then maybe from 90 minutes from 4 a.m. to 5:30. But you know what? Sometimes I hit that snooze and I say, well, maybe I'm not going to do the graphics today. I'll just do the old school graphics. I like doing those AI graphics. It actually takes as long as the manual graphics here because the AI usually gets something wrong at first, and then I got to re-query it again. Anybody who deals with AI, they're so finicky, these AI bots. If they just listen to me. Robert here's on the over and Public Enemy's on the over. And let's see here. Brew Crew here for Public Enemy. And Public Enemy likes the Pirates, and the Brewers run line, and the Tigers run line. Hello to Old E. Oh my God, it's Old E. And now he's called Old E. Great to see Old E in there. I saw Old E in some other show chat, though, the other day. But it was more of a, not this early. Oh, did I make my pick here? I'm going with the over here in this one with Arizona and Washington. I'm going to take the over. I mean, look, maybe the Nationals will get most of the runs. I don't want to go really think Eduardo's going to get shelled here or anything, but they got to go to the bullpen eventually. So let me go with the over here. The Nationals are still a pretty strong offense. So, they might get a few off of Eduardo anyway. But Arizona has won 5 straight on the road. Washington's won 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two. Arizona also 5-1 straight up in their last 6. Washington's won 4 of 6. 8 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone over, although Washington's been kind of under of late. Under in 6 of their last 9 and 4 of their last 5 at home, and Arizona's gone over in 4 of their last 5. So, okay, I think I take the over in this one. Vara's going to take Arizona. And next up, we got an anticipated series here this weekend with the Yankees taking on the Phillies. A potential World Series matchup, let's face it. Phillies are 9 games over 500. Yeah, they've lost 3 of 4 coming in. The Yankees have won 3 of 4. Had a pretty good series there against the Pirates, taking 2 of 3. And the Phillies lost to the Dodgers 2 out of 3. Now, the Phillies are favored here in this one with Luzardo at $1.35. Oh, I got the issue here. Just announced here within the last. Now, a lot of people were saying it last night. I wasn't sure what was going on, but there's no way this is the correct line, is it? I mean, I believe the word has come down here. I got to look at the correct line. Maybe my line service is off right now. In fact, I think the line is, this doesn't make any sense to me. Now I know they got Luzardo here, but the last I saw, this just came in here within the last 30 minutes. Now, what went down here was the other night on Wednesday, Warren came in to pitch, and he was just using it as a little bit of a tune-up, I thought, because he had already kind of been pushed back. So let me see what's going on here. I believe that Schlittler is now in there. Yeah, we're seeing plenty of reports that Schlittler is in there. The line hasn't moved. Like Schlittler and Will Warren are equal parts. So you tell me what's going on here. There is no way that Cam Schlittler should be plus money. I don't care how decent the Phillies have been here of late. I believe there's just a massive incorrect line here right now why hasn't this been adjusted? Is that information about Schlittler pitching? Now, last night I did another show and I did talk about it, and I'm talking about it now. Okay? You were going to have Warren. He got his start pushed back because the doubleheader was canceled there on Tuesday. He did come in and pitch 2/3 of an inning on Wednesday. You could pitch 2/3 of an inning on Wednesday and make a start on Friday. But now, come just within the last 30 minutes, they made it official. A lot of people overnight were saying it's still going to be Schlittler. even though there were, articles, even from the Major League Baseball site said it was going to be Will Warren. To me, it feels like the information that was released was wrong. Like it's still going to be Will Warren because usually the books are going to adjust the price, unless I'm just totally wrong about this and that Luzardo is $1.35 over Schlittler. I would just take the Yankees right now, and I would take them for, if you like them, and just take them, and then, maybe you could just move on the other side here. Should I liked them with Warren at this price? So to me, I think there's something. I don't want to say fishy. Okay, I'm showing some books are down to $1.27 here right now on the Phillies here, but I just don't think that the Phillies should be a favorite over Schlittler. The Yankees have a few issues here right now coming into the game, and I'll break down the offense a little bit, but this just seems really bizarre to me. Anyway, don't have to tell you about Schlittler. I mean, you do have two aces. There's no doubt that Luzardo's pitching great, but Schlittler's got a 2.2 ERA, 0.96 WHIP, and Phillies here definitely will be striking out a little bit against a guy like Schlittler. Now, maybe because he's given up some, games here of late, he hasn't been his best. But I don't know if that's really any decline here for a guy like Schlittler right now. Luzardo's been on fire in the second half. Maybe that's it too, since the break here, a couple of starts. Just one earned run per game, actually, in his last 7 starts with 8 strikeouts in 5 of those games. So maybe that's it. I mean, Luzardo's been hot, 0.67 WHIP. The Yankees' offense has been pretty good. I know they're terrible against lefties. Okay, I get it. So maybe that's it. Maybe I'm just not putting the puzzle together here. I can't handle it. I got to take the Yankees here in this one with Schlittler. Maybe I'm just overlooking the fact that Luzardo's been terrific and the Yankees just 1.3 earned runs in their last 10 starts against the starting pitcher when it's been a left-handed starting pitcher, and just 1 earned run or less for the Yankees offense in 6 of their last 7 most recent starts, and 7 of the last 8 starting left-handed pitchers that weren't openers have gone 6+ innings. So maybe the Yankees' woes against left-handers. Maybe I'm just maybe I'm overreacting here to all this. Let me go to the chat because I'm sure you'll be telling me why Luzardo is great. He's doing great. Public Enemy's on the under here. Brewers are out. Pirates money line, says 9 Legacy. Robert's on the under here. Blake is on the Yankees. Barr is on the Yankees. So, okay, look, Luzardo's, he's in his element. He's got a good matchup. He's a lefty. He's facing the Yankees. He's $1.40 right now, $1.35 on average, I'd say. There's one book here in Vegas that has $1.27 right now on the Phillies. So I'm taking the Yankees. I liked him with Warren. I'm not going to like him with Schlittler. All right, trying to bring home Meyer Sheriff here. A Nerfy here for Robert. Tiebreaker. She won the first set. We're in a tiebreaker here. Bublik over Etchberry today here so far. Let's keep it moving here on the morning's team show. Next up, the Braves are taking on the Orioles. Grant Holmes goes for the Braves. And Trevor Rogers here for the O's. For Holmes, 3.7 ERA, a 6-4 record coming in. For Trevor Rogers, 4.28 ERA and a 6-7 record. The Braves continue to remain hot right now. Really cooking all of a sudden. Atlanta's won 4 of their last 5. But the Orioles have won 8 of 10. Remember, the only team that's been able to beat them are the Red Sox. They've won 4 of their last 5 at home. 10 of the last 14 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Orioles have gone under in 5 of their last 6, and the Braves have gone under in 4 of their last 5 on the road. but the Braves were just at home, and they've gone over in 5 of their last 6 games overall coming into this one. Holmes was actually taken out of the rotation there for a while, but then he bounced back with a solid stretch since coming back to life here a little bit. He's held opposing lineups to 1 earned run or less in 4 of his last 5 games, and has kept those walks down. The Orioles offense had a solid series against the Red Sox, but it wasn't a great series. And here they saw a bunch of lefties there as well. And Rogers comes in here, dealing from the left side, of course. Holmes will be the first right-handed pitcher that the Orioles have seen in a week. They've only managed 3 hits or less in their 4 recent starts against right-handed pitching. So it has been a little bit of a problem for the Orioles against the righties. Rogers here has not given up more than 1 earned run since June 14th, and that was against the Padres. Even in that game, the Padres just had 2 earned runs against him. He has a 1.04 ERA and a 2.19 batting average against in his last 3 games. So he's been hot, Trevor Rogers. We said he was getting hot. The Braves are one of the best offenses against right-handed pitching. We know that, but I'm not going to have to worry about that here today. They've struggled a little bit versus lefties, actually. They've averaged just 1.4 earned runs per game in their last 10 starts against left-handed pitching. And Rogers, with these favorable numbers, could be in for a decent matchup here. Maybe he could even mow a little bit. So both starters have been stronger. Maybe Rogers is a little bit better here right now, but the Braves have that great bullpen. If anything, they've actually struggled here for the first time in quite a while. In fact, they've slipped to the number 3 bullpen spot with a little bit of woes here of late. But still, they are first in FIP, first in WHIP, first in walks per 9, fewest walks per 9 out of the bullpens this season. However, in the last week or so, they've been in the bottom 5 in ERA out of the bullpen. So let's see what you think, though, in this one with the Braves. Taking on the O's here on Friday. Go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one. Rogers is 6-12 to the under in his starts this season. The Braves are 12-6 with Holmes on the mound this year, but still feels like an okay matchup anyway for the Orioles in this one. Like they have a little bit of pitching edge. Maybe they have a little bit of batting in there. I'm going to take the under, though, I think, with these two. Give me the under in the game at 9 runs. Here's Public Enemy on the Orioles. Roberts on the Braves. Farr's on the Braves as well. Blake says go under. Mr. Weskers makes an appearance on the morning show. Hello, Mr. Weskers. They've been missing you on the evenings. I know you said you had a schedule adjustment. Mr. Weskers is here, everybody. He likes the Orioles in this one. We move on. The Dodgers are taking on the Mets with Roki Sasaki going for the Dodgers, and Sean Manaea goes for the Mets. On the surface, the two might have similar numbers. Sasaki, a 4.99 ERA, 3-5 record coming in. For Manaea, 4.74 ERA and a 2-5 record. He's actually a little bit better. A 1.36 whip for Manaea. Sasaki, 1.34 on the whip. So, yes, similar numbers, I would say. Although Sasaki, of course, deals from the right side. Manaea, soft tossing left-hander, I'd like to call him. Sasaki comes in with a 246 batting average against, 274 BABIP coming in before Manaea here, 262 batting average against, and a 314 BABIP. In Manaea's 7 starts this season, the Mets are 2-5, but we know the Mets just aren't very good. And the Dodgers are, and that's why they're favored here considerably in this one. A little bit tough here with the Dodgers favored on the road at $1.55-ish. And what happened was, I didn't know if I was even I thought this was a fake story there for a little while. The Dodgers were trying to figure out why Sasaki, who has incredible numbers once the ball gets cooking, was giving up such gaudy runs. They thought maybe he was tipping his pitches. So what they did was they put a glove. I don't want to say it looks like one of those gloves from the home run derby. That's a little extreme. But they gave him a big glove. And, well, he threw shutout in 5 2/3 innings with 5 strikeouts against the Yankees with that glove. So maybe, the big glove at the home run derby. Did anyone ever catch the ball in the big glove at the home run derby? I don't know if they did. Remember the cheapo glove you'd get as a kid? It wasn't leather. It was like it was like imitation leather or plastic. All right. Anyway, Roki can mow when he's on, especially when his 23% K rate, and he is actually pitching probably as decent as he has. That last game was impressive. The Mets are a bottom 5 offense against right-handed pitchers, and they have not been good in their last few games against righties. 2 earned runs or less in 3 straight games, and they've been striking out quite a bit. And against Sasaki, he will mow. For Manaea here, he's better against lefties, but struggled against righties, and the Dodgers are slightly worse against left-handers, 3 earned runs or less in 7 of their last 10 starts against lefties. And their only success really has come against, pretty bad left-handers. But I'm not putting Manaea in the, even maybe in the mediocre class. So let's see here. Maybe for the Dodgers, it will work out against Manaea. Let's see how you have it here in this one. Go to the chat. All right. Mets for Mr. Weskers here. Robert's on the Mets as well. Man, they're going with the Mets. Here's Public Enemy. Says go over, and my man Tommy Edman hit a home run. Man, Tommy Edman's the man, isn't he? And here's Mr. Weskers. He's catching some basketballs. And Razor was a pitcher there. Could you imagine facing Razor? I'd picture Razor as a closer, but they really have too many closers in high school ball. They do, but but I'd with Razor's beard, could you imagine Razor coming in and doing one of those? What song would Razor have if he was a closer when he came in the game and the lights go down and the fire shoots on the scoreboard and the flames come out of the back of the scoreboard? What would be Razor's walk-up song? And Woke's joke says, remember the guy who said playing G? Playing G? What? Woke's joke, good morning. Now, into the game. Razor! All right. Think of who was the remember, who's the guy with the beard from the... All right. Hey, I got to make my pick here in this one between the Dodgers and the Mets today. Man, you got to think. Come on, Sasaki here. Yeah, maybe I'm going to go under in the first 5. I'm going to go under first 5. Kind of want to take the Dodgers, but God, man, these Dodgers. Let me go under 5 runs in the first 5. It is 5 after all, and the Dodgers do have some issues against left-handers anyway. So let me go under first 5 here in this one. I kind of want to get more money on the Dodgers, it feels like. All right. Born in the USA, party in the USA. Mookie here, home run for Chris Warren. The Padres are taking on the Marlins. Herman Marquez goes here for the Padres, and Ryan Gusto is for the Marlins, although he is, I believe, an opener in this game for the Marlins. Let me see what's going on here with this one. I believe Gusto opens here in this game. Let me see what the official word is here. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I remember now. Okay. Max Meyer, this is Max Meyer's spot, but Meyer is on the injured list right now. So it is Ryan Gusto here. He's been used heavily in relief for a lot of the season here. Actually, he's allowed just one earned run in his last 3 outings. The Padres have looked good offensively, scoring 5 or more runs in each of their last 3 games, but they're kind of worse against right-handers. But Gusto, he's far from elite. We know that. Marquez comes in here. He's allowed 3 home runs in his last 3 starts, and, he's definitely hittable. But the Marlins are on this long losing streak. It's 9 games right now, and the Padres are an underdog to these guys. The Marlins have lost 9 straight. The Padres have plenty of issues of their own, that's for sure. But Manny's heating up. Tatis is heating up. Tatis has been one of the hottest hitters in the league since the All-Star game. Marlins have lost, is it 9 straight or 6 straight? I actually got to look it up. Just going off of memory there, and for some reason I thought maybe they did win a game back there. 9 straight, right? 6 straight at home? Maybe that's what it is. My notes were bad. Padres have actually lost 12 of their last 15 on the road, however, and 5 of their last 7 overall. Miami's gone under in 7 of their last 9, including 4 of their last 5 games at home here coming into this one. So,
critical notice.
Do have some, let's see here. Oh, no, we don't have any. We don't have breaking news. Okay, let's see what you guys have here in this one. I think I've wrapped up my coverage here this one tonight. And see what I want to go with you guys first here with the Padres playing. All right. Woka's joke says the guy who said putting money on the Jays is like throwing it away. I know, I felt bad because I was like, I'm taking the Jays and I'm taking the Jays in this one. Or I took them in the cover the spread video. I think on the show yesterday we were on the first 5 over, and that didn't work out. But I remember that guy said that, and I'm like, oh, man, I'm on the Jays in this one. I'm throwing my money away. Robert's on the Padres here. Mr. Westers wants to take the Padres. Griffin gas can was getting lit up yesterday for 3 home runs. Public Enemies on the Marlins, and Barr likes the under here in this one. Oh, man, I got to like the Padres here. Come on, as an underdog in this game, Marlins struggling here. Look, Marlins were hot. They were great. Marlins actually have a better record than the Padres coming into this game, despite that 9-game losing streak here. They're still 52 and 51, but man, they've just given away a golden opportunity. The Marlins, they were, pretty much totally in this race, and now not so much. They've fallen here to 4th place in the division. They're tied with Washington. And, in the wild card chase, you have teams like Chicago and the Diamondbacks ahead of these teams here right now. We move on. Next up, the Guardians are taking on the Rays here in this one, a good one. A decent one anyway, with Joey Cantillo going here for Cleveland. And Shane McClanahan goes for the Rays. McClanahan is a 3.17 ERA coming in, 8-6 record for Cantillo. Badosa won the second set 7-6. Oh, man. But Sheriff already got a break in the third. Okay, for Cantillo, 3.73 ERA, 8-5 record, a 1.42 whip coming in here for Cantillo. Guardians are 14-7 with Cantillo on the mound. They're also 14-7 to the under. Now, it's not the same 14-7 necessarily, but it does say that Cantillo does get some run support. For McClanahan, 216 batting average against and a 268 BABIP. Very solid here, 1.15. The whip And the Rays here did lose yesterday, but I'm not going to fret. I thought the Jays could get that one from them here. Cleveland lost 2 straight actually coming in as they ended up losing that series or tying that series with Minnesota in a 4-game set. So feels like a pretty important game here, especially in the wild card chase between these two teams. They might not win their division after all. The leads are shrinking here in the American League for these I say for these two teams. Cleveland's actually a game and a half behind the White Sox right now, but you know what I mean. Tampa Bay in first, Cleveland right there among the top teams in the league here currently, and you have some trends here that maybe kind of shade this one a little bit to Tampa. They've won 9 of their last 12 at home, but they've lost 6 of their last 9. It seems though like they did fix things a little bit though in there. Cleveland's won 8 of the last 12 meetings between the two teams. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. Not only that, 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams here in Tampa Bay have gone under. So maybe we will see an under here. Like I said, Cantillo is an over pitcher, coming in 14-7. That's pretty steady. It's pretty steady for sure to the over. But Cantillo, his stats aren't, blockbuster, but he's been solid here of late. Since June 13th in that start against the Tigers, he's held opposing lineups to 1 earned run or less in 5 of his 7 starts since June 13th. Did give up 4 runs against the Pirates in that most recent start, but Pirates are also one of the top hitting teams. The Rays offense is pretty great, but if anything, they are a little bit worse against left-handers here. The Rays are averaging 2.3 earned runs in their last 10 games against starting left-handers. So let's see what you think, though, here. McClanahan, real solid here of late. Guardians getting healthy, too. They got Jose Ramirez back. They have had just 1.5 earned runs in their last 10 games against left-handed starters. Their last 10, when they're facing the starter anyway. And that is, been a tough go. That's where the Guardians have had kind of trouble all season, really, is especially against good left-handers. They're 22-13 against left-handed pitching. However, it's just that the numbers statistically, I think what happens is they end up in games where they play good pitchers and they end up in a lower scoring game in those type of games. Let's see what the chat has. I better go to the chat first in this one. Miami Marlins on the run line for Trevor back in that other game. Mr. Wesker's liking the Guardians here for a contrarian play, and Robert liking the Guardians as well. Blake likes the under. Blake likes the under. Var says Rays team total over. 9 legacy. Guardians money line, Yankees money line, Nationals money line, Tigers run line, Braves money line, Marlins money line. And Woke is Joke says first 5 under. I'm going to go with Woke is Joke. Give me the first 5 under. I think this game could be an under. The only thing that bothers me, Cantillo here, like I said, it's 2 out of every 3 games with Cantillo is going over here. But we know the Rays can hit, but decent pitching matchup. I'll try under in the first 5 here. It is, after all, it's 4 at -125. That's not bad when you got some okay starters, and not only that, the total in the game 7.5. And to me, that's kind of interesting because it's not like you've got the best bullpens in baseball here. Yeah, they're in the middle of the group there pretty much. Cleveland's a little higher, actually. Cleveland's top 10, number 7, I think, in ERA. So, and Bar says, how are the Guardians relievers after yesterday? They had to go, 12 innings in that game. The Rays bullpen is coming into this one only slightly more fresh, I think. I think while both are extended here a little bit, The Rays were using a few guys in there as well. So that's probably why too, right? I don't know. That doesn't make sense either. Oh, well. Let's go to the Blue Jays and the Red Sox in this one. And hey, you ready to do it? You ready to get back on the bandwagon here or get on the winning train with the Red Sox? You think they can get back going here after finally losing that 15-game winning streak coming to an end? Got Patrick Sandoval. I'd like to see Pablo Sandoval. 4.82 ERA for Sandoval. He's been a reliever most of the season, but he's found his way to the rotation right now for the Red Sox. Man, the Red Sox love throwing those lefties. Trey Savage, 3.77 ERA, 4-5 record, 1.16 the whip for Savage. Toronto is 6-9 with Savage on the mound. They're also 6-9 to the under with Savage on the mound. For the Red Sox here, just the third start for Sandoval, 1.71 whip, 350 batting average against, and a 4.48 BABIP. Now it's just been 2 starts, only a 5% walk rate, but all they got to do is hit it and play, and they're getting on base pretty much half the time. Now, Boston has won 6 of their last 7 at home, of course, but Toronto's won 5 straight against Boston, although they're just 1-4 straight up in their last 5 games. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Toronto's gone under in 4 of their last 6, and Boston's gone under in 8 of their last 12. Although Toronto has gone over in 5 of their last 6 on the road. But the thing is, I think everyone knows that the Toronto offense has been struggling. And we just saw Shevchenko here, final coming through in tennis here. Bublik gets the win there over Etchberry. And Bublik gets it done. I think that just a winner in the win club. All right, we lost that other one. We got this one. We had Bublik there, -2.5 over Etchberry, won by 5. Okay, let's see here what the chat says in this one. A little bit complex here, even with Toronto, because they have probably a little bit better pitching here, but you're really going to go against the Red Sox here right now, gang? Let's see what the chat says. Red Sox money line here for Public Enemy says the Blue Jays got the win yesterday, but they got to do a little bit more to get his money. Over for Var, over for Robert here. And Mr. Wesker says the Jays are traveling after salvaging. I think he means making sure they didn't get swept in that last game. Wants to take the Jays, and maybe Savage can have a bounce back game here in this one. I think that's what Mr. Weskers is saying. I mean, look, Savage has given up 2 or more earned runs in his last 3 starts, but did have 7 or more strikeouts in 2 of those games. Red Sox, they've been slightly worse at home. I don't want to generalize it here, but for all season anyway, this streak has been incredible. And no matter how you look at it, they were, hitting, pitching, whatever it was, they were doing it. But Savage can't afford to, not, give up a lot of walks here. So Sandoval, remember, he's just returned from injury here in these couple of starts here right now. He hasn't been great. The metrics are not good here, actually, for Sandoval in this one. So see what you think right now with this matchup between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Blue Jays have scored more than 2 runs just once in their last 6 games, and they've been terrible on the road, especially against left-handed pitching. So maybe, just maybe, Sandoval can have a decent game here, but he really is not. Those numbers are kind of outrageous for sure. All right, I'm going to take here the over in the first 5 between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. Give me the over first 5 in this one. That's what I'm going to do on the morning steam show. By the way, the total on that one, over first 5 here for me, Toronto and Boston is 4.5 at minus $1.25. Get the plays. That might be it from you guys. Let's move on. The Astros are on the road taking on the Shy Sox, and you've got Spencer Arrighetti in this one, 4.34 ERA for Arrighetti, 7-5. Meanwhile, Davis Martin, 3.31 ERA, a 9-5 record here for Martin. The White Sox are 12-7 with Martin on the mound. He's 9-5 this season. 255 batting average against, 321 BABIP. Arrighetti's got good metrics, and he's got a 211 batting average against and a 250 BABIP, despite kind of an elevated ERA here for sure. But man, come on, the White Sox here, they are favored here, $1.30 or so. And see how it goes with these two. But Houston comes in here on a 3-game winning streak. They had a good series there against Miami to sweep it on at home. Meanwhile, the White Sox did win that series against Texas. They've won 3 of their last 4. They're also 31-17 at home, 15-7 as favorites. So feels like a decent matchup here anyway for the White Sox here. Kind of like them at this price too, but Arrighetti, probably has the better overall numbers here in this one and could make it relatively even here. But let's see. I'm going to go to the chat first, I think, in this one because still want to ride this White Sox team here. White Sox have still won 7 of their last 9, 14 of their last 20 at home. Astros have gone over in 7 of their last 8 games overall, but 6 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams in Chicago have gone under, and 10 of the last 15 meetings between these two teams have gone under as well. So let's see how you guys see it in this one. This one feels a little tough. Arrighetti walking too many batters for sure. He's given up 31 earned runs in his last 7 starts. That's 4.37, I think there. And the White Sox, they're not crushing the ball of late, but they've also been on the road. They've been better at home this season. They're better against right-handers. Maybe they can get to Arrighetti here. Barton, we know he's got solid numbers. He's been better at home, much better at home, actually. And wasn't looking good, but did have a better start last time. The Astros have looked good in their recent games, winning those 3 home games, scoring 18 runs in the 3 games combined. And they're a little better against right-handers and on the road. It's kind of their best situation, it feels like. I'm going to take the over in the first 5 here in this one with the Astros and the White Sox. I respect these two pitchers a little bit, but maybe, just maybe, at this particular number anyway, I will try the over. The first half over is 5 runs, but I'm going to go over here. The total's 9 right now. Oh man, I don't know. I might be regretting it. Well, let's see what you got here. It's going to be Bobby Mack is on the Astros. Barr likes White Sox on the money line. Public Enemy White Sox money line. Robert's going with the over as well. Trevor likes the over in this one. Mr. Wesker says you got the Astros bats against the Sox bats. Who are you going to take, says Mr. Weskers. Do you like the Astros bats? Are you is he asking me, or is he saying this is what you're supposed to make the comparison in as far as the game is concerned? You got to pit the if you had to pit the Astros bats against the White Sox bats, who would you take? I think I know who I'd take. It's just that Martin has a good matchup. It feels like I actually think it's going to be. I've got a premium. I can't And let's see here. VAR says, what is VAR saying here? When does the Nevada State Little League tournament start? It started last night. It's kind of scary. I know that, but remember I said I showed everyone. I said that video, the video that I made. It got a little traction. I think it's almost up to 500 views. So someone's watching it out there. I don't know how to promote video. That's why I joined these channels with Mikey and Razor. They always say, Ramon, you got to push the video. You got to hit the. I'm so bad at that. That's why I join these other channels, because I can't do it myself. I'm terrible. I got to start my own. Not that I'm leaving the Sports Money Network or any of these other channels, but I got to start my own channel a little bit here so I can learn how to do it. Who knows? They might kick me off the channel or something, and I better have my own channel. I'm not going to have anywhere to go after all these channels get rid of me. So I better have my own channel out there just in case. But anyway, I was saying that I made that video about the Little League, and it got one of my best views I've ever had for a video that I've made, for non-pro sports, because I think it maybe caught some viral or got shared by the families or something like that. And I got so excited. I made one about the top players I went ahead and I looked like every kid's Instagram, kind of weird, right? But I went and looked at the team Instagrams and stuff like that. And then I made a video about the best players in the tournament. Hope they like it. That's what happens when you got 5 baseball games, right? You have a little extra time on your hands. You've done a lot of football work. Anyways, yeah, the Nevada tournament did start there yesterday, and we did have Paseo Verde won the big game there in that yesterday. The top team from Nevada has already been eliminated, a team that was ranked pretty much by many independent polls that I follow as one of the top teams in the country. Remember, it was a team that actually was in the USA Championship last year, Summerlin South. They are already out. I tell you what, it's shame. Not only that, I'm boring people with this Little League talk, but this is a tournament I follow. Okay, the 12-year-olds that play on TV. Anyway, a big upset in Hawaii as well. Honolulu lost, and Hawaii has a new winner. So that's gonna now look. They might be good. Hawaii's a powerhouse. We know that, but you have a team coming out of Hawaii that hasn't won Hawaii in like 22 years. So usually you got to have a team kind of with some experience, maybe a few. If you get a repeat team, you're going to have 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 players from the previous team. Usually you're going to have more 12-year-olds than 11, and maybe 1 or 2 10-year-olds, and maybe they're even up to 11. But thanks for asking, Var. I'll talk Little League here for sure. And by the way, did look at the New York tournament. I did look at the New York tournament field coming in, but I wasn't sure. I'm not sure who the top team there is right now in New York coming in right now. I did see the field there, but okay, I just can't think of it right now. I'd have to look it up. If I saw the tournament field, I probably could remember who I like. Astros, White Sox over. Astros run line in a parlay. And Mr. Weskers, he loves the new Sports Money Network. And Prop King, so you never know, Prop King. You never know here. Var and I might even have a Little League preview. Var might. Okay. Var's giving me the winner of New York here. Okay. West. Let me see. What's he saying? West. It's in. Is that where the tournament is? Yeah. Oh yeah. The tournament's in. West. Yeah. They play there a lot, right? At oh God, what's the name of that park? Oh. But I was just saying, I don't know who. I'm not remembering who I'd have to look at the list to remember who I think the pick there is between the 8 teams. That's all. Yep, the tournament is in Westnyack. It always is it always there? It's at Gurman's Park, I think. I just remember seeing it, but I can't think of right now who I like in New York. But I think I have a day or two. I'm going to come up here with the. I think their tournament starts tomorrow, so I'll make a pick by tomorrow, Bar. I was actually thinking about going through the whole list there and seeing who we like. Anyway, let's stop talking Little League here. No one cares but you and me. But again, you can go to my YouTube and see how much of a sicko I am. I say I don't have a YouTube. It's actually my youth sports coverage. And I made a 17-minute video on the Southern California Little League tournament of the preview of every team. You think you guys just, everyone, I get, be called the know-it-all, right? Ramon hits. I think that's why, these channels, it's all sarcastic, like I'm Mr. Know-it-all. I don't know it all. I just study it all. I just, study it. Then I know it. I wish my brain cells worked better. Mariners here with Shelby Miller going up against the Rangers and Mackenzie Gore. This feels like a good pitching, man. We know Miller is the bomb. Comes in here with a 2.27 ERA, 4-4 record only, 0.88 WHIP. Boy, I'd love to have a pitcher with a 2.2. You can't get this guy some run support. These Mariners suck at batting. They did lose that last series here against Cincinnati, going 1-2. Texas, meanwhile, lost their series at home against the White Sox. But still, here the Mariners just can't seem to get it going. This is an important series. I mean, in the American League West, you just don't know what's going on. You don't know who's going to win this thing right now. Texas in first place, Seattle a half a game back, and the Astros are 2 back. I think that that losing streak for the Athletics pretty much did them in, so I don't think they're going to be coming around the mountain. But out of these other teams, this is an important series here between the second and between the first and second place team right now. And you've got 2 good starting pitchers. So Miller's one of the best in the game. He's had 6 or more strikeouts in 7 of his last 8 starts. The Rangers did look solid offensively, but they just can't seem to put it all together. They've been kind of not as good at home, but remember, they've gone all these overs at home of late. But I don't know, this matchup feels different than those games that we're going over. We might be going back to Rangers under in some of these games here. But it's been a massive streak of overs, actually. Remember at the beginning of the season, we couldn't stop going under with the Rangers. Well, now we couldn't stop going over. They've gone over in 9 of their last 10 at home and 11 of their last 12 overall, but 5 of the last 6 meetings between these 2 teams have gone under, including 4 of the last 5 here in Texas. Seattle just 1-7 in their last 8 on the road, 4-8 in their last 12, 2-4 in their last 6 against Texas. Texas has struggled here, but you got to go up against Miller. That makes it especially tough. I think I'm going to go under in the first 5, right? You figure the Mariners against the Mariners lineup here is so weak. They're going up against a left-hander. They're not going to have too many runs here, right? They've been one of the worst in the league for most of the season, and they've been bottom 5 here in the last week as well. Yes, Gore is inconsistent. He's given up 5 or more runs in 3 of his last 4 starts, but we know the Mariners against left-handers not too great. Mariners' a record is 15-13 against left-handers, but no. Let's see what you got in the chat in this one. I'm going to go under in the first 5. I think I've already decided what I'm going to do here between the Mariners and the Rangers. Give me the under in the first 5 here. It is 4 runs. I like that when it's a 7.5 total and the total's 4 in the first 5. Let's see what the chat said. Okay. Oh, the team from Staten Island says about that. Island. What they're called? What is it? Middle Island, Mid Island. That's what it is. Mid Island Bar. Mr. Wesker says, "Oh, thank you. I was not a successful student. Actually, in the beginning, I was. In fact, I was so smart. I was so smart, and I was going to kindergarten. Okay, and I would not on purpose. You don't do these things on. You do them on purpose, but you're not doing it to show off, right? We had the downtime. I was bringing the sports page. I could read box score. I could read and I think people can, right? But I would bring in silent time or whatever. I would take out my newspaper and lay it down and read the newspaper in silent time. And they probably thought this kid is a freak. And after 2 weeks, they put me up to the first grade. I think that was actually the problem in the end, because once I got, I was fine as a student, but I just wasn't knocking it out of the park. I think it was a bad move to do that to me. You don't know at the time what you're doing. You're in one class, and then they say, you're going to first grade. And you're like, hey, I graduated. And then I was, pretty much a great student until the girls. Until the girl. All right, Mariners here as a favorite. Mr. West wants to take some Ranger Roberts on the Rangers here. Mike Humphrey says, hey, good morning to Mike there in the chat. 9 Legacies on the Mariners. VAR is on the under. Public Enemy says Mariners Rangers under as well. Mariners money line. And Mr. Westers doesn't like Gore too much. He says, I was reading the classified ads. Yeah, I was reading the box score. I could read box scores early. I think that was awesome. I love getting the sporting news. When I saw that sporting news offer on the back of the Frosted Flakes, you send $6 and you get a year of sporting news, it was over. That's probably what did it. And then also, I liked doing the journalism class in high school, and I didn't care about anything else. I just liked my journalism class. I won all the contests of high school journalism, but really wasn't much of a great student. Okay, the Athletics are taking on the Twins. And you've got Zebby Matthews here, $1.40 going up against the Athletics and Jacob Lopez. Lopez, a 6.63 ERA, 4-4 record for Zebby. Remember last game, I'm like, I really liked Zebby in this spot. He gave up like 7 runs in 2 innings. 5.4 ERA, 4-7 record here for the Zebster. Matthews, 12 starts this season, 268 batting average against, and a 289 BABIP for Jacobo Lopez. He is a 283 batting average against, 6.64 ERA. These guys have monster ERAs coming into this one. How do they not give up a bunch of runs here, I would think? Now, the Twins have the bats. The A's have the bats. But the Twins have been playing well. The A's have not. And the A's bats also have gone silent, really, of late. I mean, it is $1.40 here. You can actually find a little bit cheaper, I think, than this. I only say it because I don't really want to give out $1.40 on the show. The Twins here are $1.39 at Circa, $1.44 at the Big B, $1.38 at BOL here. So let's see what you think in this one with the A's and the Twins. I might have to look for a different spot because I don't want to give out $1.40 here. I mean, I do think the Twins are pretty good to go. Lopez here, he's given up 2 or more earned runs in 3 of his last 4 starts. Pretty susceptible to the long ball. Twins offense, we know them in solid, even if they haven't been as strong as they were. They're not as great against left-handers, but they are kind of top 10-ish here anyway. The Twins offense has been surprisingly good. They might be giving back a little bit here right now, but the A's, their offense kind of went cold. They had some injuries as well. Matthews is better than Lopez, but he's given up 4 more earned runs in his last 3 starts. The Athletics offense has picked it up. I'll give them that much. They've had 5 runs in each of their last 3 games overall. They scored 5 in Arizona in each game, even though they lost 2 of the games. So, maybe that was a reflection of playing in Arizona there. Let's see what you guys have in this one. I don't know if we can trust the bullpens either, but let's see what you got. Okay, here we go. Jimmy Lambeau here. I know, Jimmy. It really is a reflection, right? I mean, if you're a real sports fan as a kid, you're doomed. You're going to like the sports your whole life. Here's Public Enemy, Twins and A's over. And 9 Legacy on the A's. And I'm a good athlete, but I just wasn't, quality enough to play any sports there, really. I played the 1 year that I was the backup quarterback in football, and the starter broke his wrist. I came in the first play and threw a pick 6. That's the way it was. Like one of those, like the smartest guy on the team know everything about football, so let's make him a quarterback. He's not going to play. And then the starter broke his wrist. We were undefeated at 5-0. And I came in there and we had such a dominant team. I mean, I played at Helix High. I mean, I only played the 1 year. I wanted to do journalism. But at Helix High. And we went 3-1-1 with me in there. Okay, let's see. Not trusting the Twins here. Twins, Robert says, kind of a weak, I think he's saying a weak, let's see, wins coming a weak pedestrian performance in Cleveland and losing before that. Oh, I got it. They had the lost the first 2 there, and then maybe it was kind of they did get the win, though, 3-1 yesterday. Over for Barr. Thank you to Mike. Yeah, nobody would watch it, Mr. Weskers. Nobody, unless you're talking about girls softball. And I've been watching the girls softball here. I mentioned yesterday, right? The team from Oklahoma got kicked out of the tournament. They had some kids that weren't from the neighborhood. I'll tell you one thing. I'm working on a story right now. One more Little League story where there's a group of teams that I follow. I may have mentioned this in the past, and those teams are the area that I kind of follow has been to the Little League World Series 4 times in the last 20 years with 3 different teams. There's not many districts that have that many teams. They might have the same teams. I can tell you a list of the best Little League teams of all time off the top of my, the top teams of all time, kind of off the top of my head a little bit. But I do have one area that I follow, and they have some really good teams. In fact, let me see here. I made a little chart of it. I don't know, but so the three leagues where I live kind of follow. They're a little bit south of where I'm from, but they have some really good teams. And I'm making a story because there's another team that I don't know if I'm saying I follow it, but the fact that the team from Tijuana. Let me see if I got this here. I'll bring it up right now. Let me do this. I'm making a little chart of the teams here. I'm just showing it where you do it like this. So you see the 3 teams here. You've got the Sweetwater team. They're from Bonita, and then they're the team in it right now. They just went to Williamsport here a few years ago, and they had a very strong performance. They were the U.S. semifinalists in 2015, or is that I think 2018, and they got a really good team here right now. I believe they might have a chance to do it again, especially the fact that Summerlin South is out and Honolulu's out. And then you see this other team, Eastlake, over here. They've been the U.S. champion, and they've been to the Little League World Series here in the last, 14 years ago. And then this Parkview team down here is world champion, and they've been twice. So you have these 3 leagues all within this little proximate area here of Chula Vista and Bonita that are basically just about 5 miles apart. And then 14 miles south here in Tijuana, you have this team, Municipal de Tijuana, that has qualified again this year for the 3rd time. And they were a 3rd place team before. So, and you could have right here, the world championship could come down to, I'm not saying that's gonna, but 2 teams that are just 14 miles apart, with the Sweetwater team and the Tijuana team still alive. But you have this little region right here where, 7 appearances in the Little League World Series. That's pretty strong. Anyway, why do I get on? I just like to talk about this stuff. Let's get it out. Go ahead and take it off the screen here a little bit. Anyway, let's get back to our baseball here. Boom. Hello, I'm in your face. Did I make the pick here? I'm going to go with the over with the Athletics and the Twins. I mean, the A's lineup has been roughed up, but, Zebby let me down last time. So let me go with the over here in the full game with the Athletics and the Twins. Okay? Everybody wanted to go to Williamsport. Not only that, Woka's choke, but Lake Mary, Florida also is a boys' powerhouse as well. I think you probably know that. And NYC Bar talking about the famous, remember they had the famous episode where they were using a 13-year-old, or I think it was 14, remember? He actually became kind of a celebrity. He actually dated, who did he date again? He ended up dating like some C-list actress or something. He came in, and they went all the way. It wasn't Harlem though. It was I should remember this one too because it was such a famous story. They dominated. That kid was dominating there. Oh God, what was the kid's name, you guys? All right, let's wrap it up here. We got a couple more games here. It's Friday. We don't have much to talk about. Reds and Cardinals here. Rhett Lauder goes for the Reds, and he comes in with a 5.75 ERA, 3-7. The record coming in for Dusty May, 4.77 ERA, 5-7 record here in this one. The Cardinals are $1.65. What is Lonnie Smith going to be there? Ozzie Smith? Look, I mean, the Cardinals, they've struggled, actually. We know the Reds, man, gave all those games back. They've actually won 2 in a row. It's the Cardinals that are actually struggling here of late. And, May's been inconsistent. I think, we've had a couple of good games where May's been okay, but he really hasn't been that good. Lauder's been struggling badly most of the season, but it actually looked better as a reliever. They should put him back in the bullpen. His last start against the Rockies, he gave up 8 earned runs and 11 hits in 2 1/3 innings, so you probably should get him out of here. The Cardinals, though, their offense has gone pretty cold here. Last couple games, 3 of the last 4 games, they've only had, I think, 1 or 2 runs here. We got to look it up, actually. They had 6 in the last game, but before that, 1 and 2, and that was against the Angels, remember, in that road trip. So May hasn't been great. He's probably better than Lauder, that's for sure. But he's given up 7 earned runs in his last 2 starts. The Reds' offense has been, better here in their last few games. 5 runs against Seattle, 4 runs before that. They had 9 against Colorado. They did get shut out in that first game against the Mariners, 8-0. But they've won 3 of their last 5 here. So I'm not $1.65, please. I don't want any part of the Cardinals at $1.65. That just seems, not great. So let me try to get on the. Let me see what we can do with the Reds. I mean, you can't take this run line. In fact, it's probably down to $1.55 here in this one. But let's see what the run line is. Let's see what the first 5 here is, plus a half at -115. I'll take the Reds here in the first 5 in this one with Lauder plus a half a run. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Give me the Reds, first 5 here. That's too high of a price. Even at $1.50, it's too high of a price. Okay. Let's see what we got here. We've got Public Enemy on the Reds. VAR is on the Cardinals. Hello to Stop Geo here in the chat. And Mr. Wesker says Reds money line. And Robert's on the under. And Jimmy says, yeah, I think I was always baseball in a way. And maybe there's still a soft spot. I think we all love football. Danny Almonte. Danny Almonte was the guy. Now, who was the guy? Who was the lady that he dated here? I think he was. They ruled him ineligible for the Little League because they saw him at a nightclub. And woke his joke. He doesn't even like Skyline chili. All right, that might be it for that one. Let's do the last game, and then pretty much we're done, huh? Okay, here we go. The Angels are taking on the Giants in this one with Grayson Rodriguez. He's going up here. Oh, the Giants don't have a starting pitcher. Hold on, they do. It's Logan Webb. Logan Webb. Logan, don't call me Jack Webb. All right, for man, they're $1.70 here in this. Another one. I mean, come on. Okay, Logan Webb's pitching. Grayson Rodriguez is an 8.22 ERA. Logan Webb 3.86 ERAs, 5-7. Grayson Rodriguez is 3-3. If you don't look at the ERAs, the Giants are on this 5-game losing streak here right now. They can't be this big of a favorite against anybody, can they? I'd probably try to just take the Angels here. I wish I could take them on the run line on this show, but I'm not going to do that to you. I'm not going to lay $1.60 on the show. But golly, I mean, I don't want the Giants at this price, even with Logan Webb. I'm almost willing to take the Angels here. I really want them on the run line. Let's see what you got. But I just don't want to do it at minus $1.60. Mr. Wesker says he doesn't even see a line here yet for the Angels game. I wonder if there'll be a pitching change. Hello to Jim Duweiger in the chat. Angels money line for Mr. Weskers. Man, I want to do it too. I kind of just want to do it. I want to take him. I will. I'm going to do it. Give me the Angels here tonight I'll do it on the money line because I can't take them. A Giants team total over though for VAR because you're going up against Grayson Rodriguez. I could sit here and try to if I start reading about Grayson Rodriguez, I'll talk myself off the Angels because he's been awful all season. He's given up 2 or more earned runs in his last 5 starts, a 10% walk rate. The Giants offense, so they just haven't been very good. By the way, the Royals are getting steamed right now in their game against the Tigers, believe it or not here. Well, maybe it is maybe something in the Tigers lineup. I don't know. But we know that Noah Cameron's going to be in there eventually for Way. Hey, Meyer Sheriff won. There she is. I took Meyer Sheriff. But it wasn't easy. But she was an underdog when we had her against Badosa. I think we took her plus 2.5 games, actually. But that's okay. She got the win. She got the cover. Anyway, like I said, I don't want to talk about Rodriguez too much because I'll talk myself right out of them. The Giants have gotten 2 or more runs in their last 6 games, but strangely, they've been worse at home. But they're all right against right-handers, that's for sure. The Angels had a 3-game winning streak snapped when they lost to the Cardinals last time out. So even though their offense has struggled, they did have some wins in there. They have been playing some tough teams for sure, but averaging just 1.7 earned runs in their last 10 games against right-handed pitchers, and Hunter Dobbins just shut them out there in his stint. So the Angels can hit a little bit. It's just that they have trouble driving in runs. And they strike out a ton as well. All right. So I'm going with the Angels, though. I'm going with an upset tonight. Let's see if the chat says anything here in this one. Robert is on the over. Jimmy is on the over as well. And Prop King not liking Rublev here and his match against Van Ass. What did I do with that? I know I had. I didn't bet it. What? Oh, awesome
Final.
there. Awesome, Var. Okay, I guess that's it for baseball, everybody. All right, that's going to do it. We got one more game, though, here right now, and get to that. Get to that here in just a moment. So as I call it up here right now. Okay. But, yeah, in the Mid-Atlantic, I didn't look to see there. My top teams right now, I'm going to go over these here. My top current Little League group here, I got to check to see who advanced. But, I mean, we talked about Lake Mary. They were actually one of the top teams, I think, coming in. But Lamar, Texas right now. If I pick one team here out of the field now, I'm just about maybe teams that I know that are still alive. I haven't checked all of them. But I would say right now I'm still going with my teams here, my Sweetwater team here to get something done because of Alejandro Kirk's nephew is on the team, and he's one of the best players, one of the best 12-year-olds in the country, believe it or not. But also Lake Mary, I don't know if they're still alive, but they have a catcher who is probably the best catcher in the country, best 12-year-old catcher in the country. And also Lamar, Texas, of Texas East. You've seen them before, Texas East. I like them. Also Ascension Parish of Louisiana up there as well. I'd say don't watch out. They're in the same I think those teams are in the same region, though. Lamar and Ascension. No, Ascension Paris is, I think they are in the same region, actually. Okay. Let me go to the CFL here. Yeah, Nevada's in the mountain region now. 2 years ago, they split. They put Nevada in a new region, actually. The Nevada mountain region is kind of brand new. Mr. West says, what's the limit on? The most I can get is $50. So, we're not talking BOL will show that usually BOL will cover the championship games of the region. The one that they show the one game usually on ESPN in each region, the championship of each region, and that's when they usually start the betting. But it's 50. I can't get more than 50, but maybe they recognize me as the foremost Little League handicapper in the world. All right. Let's do the CFL game here real quick. We got the Stamps taking on the Bombers tonight. Caleros is still out, so it's a pick-em. In fact, I think the Stamps have actually moved to the favorite here by a point or so in some books. But you know what? Drew Brown was fine last game. He's had back-to-back 300-yard games. And, you got the Stamps here. They certainly have a good chance. They're 2-4, though. They haven't been, crushing it here right now. Somebody's got to lose these games. You do have the Bombers. I mean, look, just because Caleros is out doesn't mean that Brown can't succeed. For Drew Brown here, he's got his back-to-back 300-yard games. And last game was even better than the previous one. 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. He was 27 of 43. Now, Brown, he's not a running quarterback. I don't want to stereotype anybody, but you see him out there and you're like, why isn't this guy running? But he's not a running quarterback, really. But look, they won both of the games that he's been in. They beat Toronto and they beat Ottawa. So I know Ottawa's not looking great here, but for Bernard Adams Jr., I think it's a tough matchup here, actually. For Calgary in this one. they're 2-4. Look, Vernon Adams is fine. You've got Philpott in there. Dejon Brissett, I think he's actually hurt here. I don't know if he's going to play in this game. I think he's questionable. And let's see here. I'm going to check the injury report right now, because I think that he is questionable for the game. You still got Brooks. You've got Tevin Jones as well. But, man, I just like Dembski. I like Tim White. I like, of course, Ontario Wilson's had 2 huge games in a row clicking here with Brown. 17 receptions for 197 yards with Brown. So watch out for Ontario Wilson here. And, of course, you've got Oliveira, the glue to it all. Man, I kind of like Winnipeg in this one. I'm going to take Winnipeg here in the first half over Calgary tonight at a pick'em or so. Now, as far as the total's concerned, it is 60. Yesterday's game went over again. Another over. I think we went with the under, but we did have the winner yesterday on the show anyway. All right. And VAR's talking about the tournament there in the did you say in the New England, the Mid-Atlantic or in the New England? Okay. I haven't seen that bracket yet out of that I haven't seen that bracket yet out of that area. So, okay, I think that might do it for everyone. There's Calgary there for Jim. This is what Barr was saying anyway. His region competes in Bristol, Connecticut. Yeah, that New England region. Usually you've got usually right the team from Massachusetts. Don't they usually dominate there?
Critical notice.
All right, let's see here. By the way, here CFL News just breaking here. Nathan Rourke, he will be. I thought he was already out. Nathan Rourke is ruled out of the game here on Saturday for BC against Toronto. That just in here, actually. I think we know he was out. I think we knew he was out. So I don't know. They're updating me here anyway. All right, I guess that's going to do it. Anything else we could talk about here on a Friday? I think that's it for the show. I want to thank everybody for coming along and for the ride with me here as we talk a little baseball. Hey, join the guys here at noon Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific for Bases Loaded. They'll get you ready for the Friday action. Mikey Money, Sharky Waters. Also, we've got our racing coverage today, racing with Razor or at least our horse racing coverage at also noon Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific here on the channel. As we got our racing coverage here today for Friday. We've got Del Mar today, of course. We got some Delaware in there. We've got some Saratoga, of course. And those are probably the highlighted tracks here today. All right, that's going to do it here for the show. Once again, I have forgotten to do the contest. So if you would like one free week of winners over at winnable.com, get my picks here. You would have been on that 65-1 golfer here. He still leads by 3 strokes right now, and he's through 12. Michael Kim is in second. Gary Woodland in third. Jackson Koivoon is in fourth, along with Austin Smotherman, Troy Merritt, and Emiliano Grillo. What has happened to Scotty? He was up there yesterday giving it his all, and now Scotty all of a sudden falling behind because he hasn't teed off yet. Okay. He'll be winning this. Scotty is 6 strokes back right now of my man there, Ben Coles, and he's still currently the favorite at plus 165. Coles plus 330 here. at the tournament right now. So, hey, go over to winnable.com/Ramon if you want 1 free week of the picks. Use the promo code LIVE, LIVE, and you'll get 1 free week there over at winnable.com. When you go over to winnable.com, just go ahead and choose 1 week. You will not be charged when you use the promo code LIVE, LIVE. So check it out over at winnable.com. All right. Appreciate everybody coming through. And by the way, so you go over there. I just want to show it here. You'll go over there, and the page will be up there. And you'll see the sports betting with Ramon here. And then you go to choose weekly right there. And you'll see once you choose Apple Pay, Google Pay, or so, it'll come up and ask you to click the button and do the pay. But remember, just make sure when you do it. So he's got the 1 week here. You hit subscribe, and then it comes up, saying, "Hey, we're going to charge you." But type in where it says apply the promo right here. Just type in live. Apply. And then it says 0, and you won't be charged for that 7-day trial there, okay? And it will charge you afterwards, though. So make sure that you keep on subscribing. That's what you want to do. Use the promo code STEAM if you just want to subscribe without having to take the promo. And for $19.95 a month, you'll get 5 weeks. I'll put it on an extra week there. And you'll get my UFC picks as well for Saturday. Thanks a lot, everybody. Don't forget, check us out tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern, 4:30 a.m. Pacific. And then the guys will be here. I don't think they're going to miss the show. If not, I'll do it. Companion stream coverage, UFC Abu Dhabi, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. Mikey Money, MMA Jeff, and the cast will be there for the coverage here of the UFC Abu Dhabi. I think Kim is taking it there, says Prop King. Thank you to Robert in there. And thank you, Var. Awesome. Thank you, Var, for doing that, for putting that address in there. Hey, I've also been watching here. I just mentioned here another baseball. I was watching yesterday because there was no baseball, but one of my favorite tournaments to watch, speaking of tournaments on YouTube, the National Baseball Congress World Series is underway in Wichita, Kansas. This is probably the second premier wood bat event in the United States. Of course, the Cape Cod League is probably number one, of course, but I've been watching the NBC World Series, just got underway. Some great players have played in that tournament. Barry Bonds has played in that tournament. Ozzie Smith has played in that tournament, and others. And it takes place in Wichita, Kansas at Wichita State. And that just started yesterday. They usually have a few games a day. And then over the weekend here, they do one of the days where they have baseball round the clock, where they play the games right through the middle of the night. They have one at midnight, one at 3 a.m., and one at 6 a.m. And that pretty good tournament. Was watching it last night there with some good finishes. Okay, that's going to do it, everybody. Thanks a lot. Catch you tomorrow here on the Morning Steam Show for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Las Vegas.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9.